Hello, everyone. My name is Rohan. I'm very happy to welcome you all to the second workshop on out-of-distribution generalization in robotics. I'm going to start off with some introductory remarks, and then we'll kick it to our first speaker. And so I wanted to start off by giving a bit of context about why we are organizing this workshop, right? Why now? Why is now a particularly valuable time to be working on this topic? And the reason for this, I think, is that algorithms for robot learning are slowly maturing and real-world deployments are starting to happen. For example, Waymo is operating around 250,000 fully autonomous trips per week. A company called Zipline has made millions of autonomous drone deliveries already. And now we're even starting to see generally capable manipulation policies emerging. I don't know if any of you checked out the DeepMind robotics demo yesterday, but they had people come in and instruct a robot to do anything that they wanted to do, and at the conference venue, and it was sort of doing a very impressive job, right? However, we still often struggle in real-world environments where distributions shift away from the training data, right? So, for example, we can see here a Waymo that in a storm just gets completely stuck in a big puddle, right? And here are some mobile manipulation robots, if the video plays, making all sorts of snafus in cases that are very hard to distinguish from the training data on which the robot was trained. And so when we look at these things, we wonder to ourselves, how do we build reliable and robust systems for the real world? This is what we want to focus on today. Some goals for today are to build bridges between communities. So there are a lot of disparate directions towards the OOD problem. For example, runtime monitoring, methods for zero-shot generalization, like we've seen a lot of interest on leveraging pre-trained foundation models to boost generalization in robotics, right? How do we bring these communities that have been sort of working separately together and make progress on this great topic? The second is to derive a comprehensive perspective to address the OOD challenge, right? Like one of the main ideas that we wanted to do with this workshop is to bring people together and coalesce these different viewpoints into one, coherent roadmap. What fits in where? What is all? How are all these things related to each other? And then lastly, we want to identify new tools and opportunities to enable reliable autonomy in unfamiliar domains. I also just wanted to, apologize a little bit for some of the chaos and last-minute hecticness with our paper submissions and open review page. I want to say this is a case study on the OOD challenge where once you slightly go out of distribution in the open review backend, it's very hard to recover from this, right? But in general, I would say I'm very happy with the amount of interest that this topic is getting. Some facts about the submissions are that at the first time that we held this workshop at Coral in 2023, we had around 25 submissions to the workshop. And now this year, we have grown almost twofold to 44 submissions at the workshop, making this the largest workshop at the entire conference. Right? And you can see the diversity in ideas and creative approaches that people are taking towards this problem. We made a quick pie chart to sort of segment the topics of the submissions that we were getting. Right? We're seeing, quite some work on out-of-distribution detection, a number of works on runtime safety and improving the reliability of a system, and then a large set of works on OOD robustness, aiming to boost out of the box the generalizability of robot policies and models. Right? So quite a diversity of topics and ideas. We have a wonderful cast of keynote speakers and panelists lined up. So we have, one thing that really struck me about the list of speakers that we have is that many of our speakers both have an affiliation in academia as faculty, but also an industry appointment at a company where they're thinking more about how to make some of the ideas that maybe all of us PhD students are coming up with real and valuing what out of distribution, in the real world really means. You're going to have 2 oral sessions split into sort of 2 different themes. And we have 3 papers in each of these sessions. The first session is a set of papers on generalization through training, right? How can I develop models that generalize better out of distribution? The second oral session will focus on test time interventions. So given a model, that starts being deployed in out of distribution conditions? How do we intervene at test time and safeguard the system or maintain some base level of reliability? We have a pretty packed schedule, so I'm going to be really good at making sure that everybody stays on time. We have an hour-long poster session after lunchtime. And so my recommendation to everybody is to go hang your posters at the poster stands around at lunchtime, and you will be able to have them there until the poster session. And then at 4 p.m. when the poster session ends, you have to take them down for the next workshop. I've annotated here on the map, we are here at EEB. This is the door where you all came in. To get to the poster session, you're going to take a right and a left and keep going straight until you see a big grass field with a whole bunch of posters. The last thing that I wanted to note here is sort of a fun thing that we're trying to do here, where we want to see how the speakers and the panelists and the papers that are being presented today are going to influence how the audience is thinking about the OOD problem. So we have a poll here for you that I would love for you all to fill out now to sort of see what your opinions are on what is and isn't possible in this out of distribution generalization problem. And at the end of the day, we'll bring this poll back and we'll see, have our speakers been able to change your mind? Have they been able to, rethink, help you rethink your agenda on this problem and influence your research going forward? With all that said, those are all the opening remarks that I had. I'm going to stop sharing.